Good morning to you. This is your daily collective tarot and oracle reading on Jade Emerald Green. This is both from Monday, August 11th and Tuesday, August 12th. Okay? With the phenomenal but busy week that your girl had, and with Mercury stationing direct in Leo, Monday was a break time for me, and I'm very glad that I did take that break. I went to the beach, I did some very necessary shopping, and just needed a refresher day to feel good. Did some cleaning around the house. Gonna continue to do some cleaning around the house. Our basement got flooded, so we gotta deal with that, But in any case, it is a good time to go through these transits and go through these cards. Now, one point I want to note is I want to give another thank you to everyone who came out to, whether it was Food for Thought Milwaukee, the Bronzeville Hour, Summer Park Jam, or even the Free Film Artist Market. I want to thank all these organizations, from Culture by Design to Cactus Club, 1960 Black, Food for Thought, of course, True Skool. It was such a phenomenal time. I met so many amazing people, and I hope that we were able to stay connected in this journey. So transits. In addition to Mercury being direct in Leo, we also have the moon leaving Pisces, going into Aries by about 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific, wherever you are. And with moon in Aries, we have a lot of aspects, okay? Because we both have Saturn and Neptune also in Aries, so we have a really big conjunction going on. We are definitely feeling the rayon cutting through, our deeper karmic areas, our dreams. So we want to be mindful of that Aries energy, in the more deeper parts of our psyche. When we have the moon in Aries and Mercury in Leo, though, our level of communication and planning is enhanced. Okay, so we're going to be making our list. We're going to be checking it twice. Get our Santa Claus energy up in the summer. And make the most of that. But be careful not to overexert yourself. Mars is in Libra, which is opposition moon in Aries. So we're going to want to go. But make sure you are not running on E in the process. Your girl felt it yesterday, so I know when to, cut my lemons off, and I hope you do too. We also have the moon sextile Uranus and Pluto, so we may have a shift in things that have been around in our orbit. We may have a new perspective on it, or we may just have fresh new ideas. So really enjoy this time. This moon in Aries is a fun time, Your girl's a moon in Aries herself, so hey, I'm going to be, taking my own advice and making the most of this day and these next few days as well. So stay energized, stay rested, stay in balance. Okay? And it's especially important as we get into these cards here. So for Monday, August 11th, I know that, I'm recording this overnight, Monday going into Tuesday. But use this first part of the reading of the cards as in review, because we have the Sun of Coins. Oh, also, I'm using the Black Tarot. This deck is so phenomenal. I am so in love with this deck, so I hope you enjoy this reading. Sun of Coins can be likened to the Knight of Pentacles, but with this illustration and with the significance of this card in relation to this specific deck, I want to, have this in mind, right? Because Knight of Pentacles, you see a knight facing forward in green pastures, blue sky, signifying slow and steady wins the race. And this is very much true for the Sun in Coins as well, but I want to emphasize what we see here. We see two men engaging in capoeira. Two young folks engaging in an art that is so fun. It takes so much skill and mastery and patience to exert with precision. Okay? So yes, it is still slow and steady wins the race here. But the beauty that one can create in this process, your journey, is so important. So Monday, signifying that Mercury and Leo direct, is how are we making beauty out of our journey? You get what I'm saying? Like, how are we appreciating the journey? Because Mercury has been in Leo since the end of June. This entire summer has been about Mercury and Leo, how we communicate in big and bold ways. And the retrograde was very important because we can be big and bold, but we can't scorch the earth in the process. You get what I'm saying? So I think the sun is very significant, whether it's rising up or setting down. Its contact with the water means that we need to have flow as well. The balance of the fire, the water, the earth, and being in the air. You need all these elements, but the Sun of Coins keeps us grounded. Okay? So make sure you stay in alignment. And Winston Sloan said he wins the race. When you have faith, what happens? We have Ayazan coming in. Miracles. The high priestess of miracles and markets of Haiti. Okay? One of the songs that I've been listening to is by Norman Hutchins. God's Got a Blessing with my name on. I've been putting that on repeat, and I think it's mad relevant. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves, when in matters of faith, are we seeing to believe, or are we believing to see? I know this concept is coming before in these readings, but it is ever relevant now. Especially, in the macro, the challenges that have come about in Milwaukee with the flood. Nationally, we've seen Trump take over DC, put in the National Guard, trying to do an extension of what he already did to LA. You get what I'm saying? These are challenging times. And we have to make sure that our faith does not waver just because we're seeing things that are not in alignment with our belief. We have to recognize that our beliefs will prevail. If you believe in justice, if you believe in fairness, if you believe in your dreams, this is not a time to waver. And we have to use these aspects, these transits, to our advantage. And know that there's a time of balance. And when the macro is not showing any balance of letting up, we have to give that relief to ourselves. Okay? Moving that energy, keeping that energy up into today, we have the Ace of Baskets. And I think this is really beautiful. If you think of Ace of Baskets is roughly equivalent to the Ace of Cups in traditional RWS, okay? So, Ace of Baskets, this is beautiful imagery as well. We have a young man sitting, a young person sitting, and their ancestor is resting upon their shoulders with flowers around them. How beautiful is that? One has to remember that they are never alone. We are never alone in this journey. One can always talk to their ancestors at any time, any place. Whether it's just a thought in your head or you're speaking out loud, like your ancestors, your guardian angels, your spirits are always there. Never forget that. And I think it's ever important, when we talk about faith and when we talk about the time it takes for our prayers to come about. We also have to recognize that our ancestors was once in this realm too and had to do the same things that we have done. But been there, done that. Use that to your advantage when it comes to your ancestors, your angels. and shine. Shine in the way that is relevant to you. Don't try to shine like anybody else. Don't try to be liked by everybody. This is Mama Jumbo. I wanted to say Black Mamba. But Mama Jumbo of Guinea-Bissau. Now, if her name sounds familiar, that is because the colonizers mispronounced her name to Mumbo Jumbo. That's where we get that phrase, and they couldn't understand the greatness of this goddess. So they reduced her to mean gibberish. And I find that very interesting when we think about all the great things that come from our diaspora that get swept under the rug. But this is your time to shine. Like I said, you use this moon in Aries aspect, this direct Mercury in Leo. Use this time to shine. This is cardinal and fixed fire that we're talking about. Fire is ethereal. Fire clears the way, the path that we need to take. So shine in the way that is unique to you, that is authentic to one's self. Yes, on a Tuesday, club going up, because the time is now. The things that we make, and I want to take note of these lunar phases. While we're not on a full moon or a new moon for that matter, you can always have redetermination. It's imperative that one does have redetermination at any point in time, because sometimes life don't be waiting for nobody. Time? What is time anyway? But it don't wait. So shine in a way that's authentic to you, and who cares who's hating? Who cares who doesn't understand? Because if you don't shine in the way that's authentic to you, your ancestors is watching. They be like, what is you doing? So there you have it. I appreciate those that can listen to these for these times. I'm not always a fast talker. I'm a fast talker sometimes, but not when it comes to this. I rather take my time so that we have an understanding of where we're at, the best perhaps practices or best perspective to have on these things. So let this time be a blessing to you. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. This is Jade Emerald Green, Daily Collective Tarot Oracle reading. So I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday, August 13th. And we'll keep this going. Ciao, ciao.